previous video, I had a demonstration of this LED and incandescent Christmas light tester. And if you remember another video I had, I took the Lightkeeper Pro and I turned it into a lithium powered Lightkeeper Pro. So instead of having to deal with three coin cell batteries to operate this thing, I converted it over to a lithium pack. So I just used a simple little lithium pack that I had floating around and a couple little boards and blah blah blah. So this little monster takes a 9-volt battery to operate it. Well, you know, I don't want to deal with 9-volt batteries, and even though I got these little rechargeable ones, these USB rechargeable ones, they always they only last for about a month, and then they self-discharge because there's always electronics. There's a boost converter in there that taking the lithium power and boosting it to 9 volts. So they don't hold the charge for very long. And then of course, if you forget about leaving your traditional alkaline batteries in there, they could they die over time, and sometimes when they die, or sometimes even when they're fresh, the batteries leak and then it destroys it. So in this little video, we're gonna convert a 9-volt alkaline into a lithium powered Lightkeeper Pro. And when you open up the little battery door, you got your little compartment in there. And guess what? That's a lot of room in there for bits. So we're gonna take your traditional silly little 9-volt clip on there. We're gonna chop that off, so we don't need that kind. And we're gonna put some bits in there. So what do we need for bits? Well, first of all, you need a little lithium pack, and I just happen to have a bunch of these things laying around. And of course, you're going to need a little protection charge / protection board. So your typical TP 4056 charge board. And then we're going to need a boost converter. So here we got a boost converter, and we're going to boost the lithium pack voltage up to 9 volts. So let's get started. So the first thing to do is to chop off the clip. So we're going to chop the clip off, because we don't need that kind. And then we'll go ahead and strip the wires for a little bit. I'll get you in a little closer. And we don't need a super lot exposed. Just enough to solder onto a board. Okay, that takes care of that. And then our next stage, what we will do is we will prepare the battery here. And of course, this is a 3-wire setup, but we don't need the 3 wires. So we're going to just chop some stuff off. So the white wire, we're going to chop it off. We don't need that kind. And then we definitely do not want to chop both power wires here together. So we will chop one at a time. So now we got our little lithium pack. So now the next thing to do is we want our little TP4056. This is the USB-C kind. And we're going to go ahead and put our little lithium pack on there. And we need to get a soldering iron or soldering iron. So I'm going to go full caveman style and get my little butane job out and get that warmed up. Only takes a couple of minutes, a minute or so. And then we'll get our roll of solder, our Kester. What is this? Kester 44, Classic 44. And while it's warming up, we will get our wires stripped here. And then, of course, when you got your charge board here, see how you got B plus and B minus in the center? And then you got the outer connections. So your inner ones are for your battery, and your outer ones are for your load, or what you're hooking up to. So, and both sides are positive and both sides are negative, so you can't cross them over. I don't have the autofocus on, so I'm doing it manually. So we'll just put some blobs of solder on the pads here. And we'll take our lithium pack here, and we'll tin the wires. And then we'll just hook up our little charge board here. So now we're live. Now we need to set up the boost converter. So the first thing we're going to do is one side of the boost converter has voltage in and voltage out. So our voltage in will be coming in from our TP4056 charge controller, and our voltage out will go to our little tester gun here. So we need some wire. So we'll get some small wire here. We don't need a super amount of length here. So a couple of inches. Then we go ahead and strip them. Then we can split the wires. And we'll just twist them and tin them. Them are 10. Now we'll take our little boost converter here, and we'll tin the pads for the incoming voltage. And then we can put our little wire on. Like such. And then we can take our little TP4056 and we can put the wires on the outside of the pads. So we'll have to split these completely apart because they're going to have to cross over each other. Okay. So now we have our little setup here, our little ghetto setup here. So we got our TP056, TP4056. Our batteries hooked up to our inner pads, plus and minus, and our output of our TP4056 is connected to the input of the boost converter, like such. Now we got to set the voltage. That's the next step, to set the voltage, because we need 5 volts. So what do we need to set the voltage? Well, first of all, we need a voltmeter, a DVOM, so we'll get that out. And some terminals. And there's a little trick to these little voltmeters to get them to stay on, and yet they'll still beep at you. Is you hit the range button, you push the range while you're powering up, and then your DVOM will not self-power off. So we are in DC voltage. Boy, that shows up on the camera nice. That's why I like this meter. And then we will connect our terminals to our voltmeter here, to our buck converter. And now you got to usually when these things are powered off, you got to trick them to turn on. So what I found is that if you short both of the grounds together, that it usually turns on. Sometimes. Sometimes you have to trick it to come on with the by plugging it in. So, what do we got here? Are we on voltage? So right now we're at 16 volts. So we definitely do not need 16 volts. So on the boost converter here, there's a pot that you can turn down. So we'll turn the pot down to a 9 volts. Close enough. So we are at 9 volts. So we'll just go ahead and verify that again. So it looks like we shut off again. So you just short them two grounds together and it turns back on. So now that we know that we are at 9 volts, we can put our meter away. And now we'll just go ahead and we'll hook our thing together. And as I was fooling around here, I noticed that my soldering gun is running out of fuel. So we'll do the crazy thing is while it's still on, we'll put fuel in. Nothing like fresh butane and an open flame. So now we're full again. Don't do that at home. You've been warned. So, continuing on, now we can put some solder blobs on our outgoing terminals here. So now that we got that set, what I want to do is see if I can get some heat shrink. I don't know if that'll suck up enough. Probably not. It's probably too big. Probably have to put some tape on it or something like that, so we don't short it out. Because what I want to do is fold it together like such, and then just smash it in there. So I gotta have some protection. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll put this like that, and then I'll put like that, and then heat shrink it together. After I connect the gun. So, we'll just hook the gun out. Get our polarity here right. So we got a tin of wires. Turn that off. And now we got our little lithium powered jobber here. And of course, to trick it to come on, we can set the, oh, it's on, cool. So that's cool. So now we can just make our little sandwich here. Get all the wires all buttoned up, and we'll take this piece of heat shrink, and it should collapse enough. To keep everything all organized here. Fire and lithium batteries. Woohoo! Okay, now next thing we got to do is just a little bit of. Do we got to do any trimming? Not really, but we need to make access for the USB port. So we'll just give that a little shove so we can expose the connector. And with the, I think the batteries on here have their own little protection board, and then I got the protection board of the TP4056. We'll see if we can shrink that a little bit more. Because it's only going to shrink down so much. So now we're on lithium power, and now we can just plug in and charge up the battery. As you can see, the little light came on, and then when it's done charging, just unplug it and pretend that it's charged, and then we can just stuff it in the battery compartment. Look how nicely that fits in there, like it was built for it. And we can put our little cover on here. Now we got a sleeper lithium powered LED tester that we can use to use our testing purposes. So I'm using the voltage detector, so when you scan your wires, oh no, there's a break. Where's the break? Oh, there's a break here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Now I can fix it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. How to turn your LED Lightkeeper Pro, whatever this thing is, Simply Living Solutions LED fixer tester. So this thing has got the voltage detector for your incandescent lights. You got your bulb checker, you got your fuse checker, and you got your LED and incandescent switch. And then when you got it on LED, you plug your light sets to this, and then you find where your lights are out. Sometimes if you got a long set, you'll have one section on, one section off. Look for the long section that's off. Start at the middle. Pull the LED wire combination in, and you jam it. Jam the wire inside this little notch here. Squeeze the trigger, and it injects voltage. And then you can see which side of the light string is out. Of course, I have a demo on this, so you can check out them previous videos. Do a search on the channel. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.